Listen, if you've been stuck in decision hell, overthinking, overanalyzing, bouncing back and forth between five ideas that kind of make sense but none feel right, then I'm about to save you years because once I came to this realization, it hit me like a freight train and I made over seven figures online in my business with just one digital product doing a little over 900K. And I actually wake up excited every single day because I look forward to the work that I do in my business. And that realization is this. If you can't decide, then the answer is no. Simple, clean, brutal, but true. So today, I'm gonna show you how to break that idea all the way down and find the business that's actually right for you, how to build it with less stress and more momentum, and how to stop wasting time on things that don't align. Here's a trap nobody talks about. We think that indecision means that we need more time, but most of the time, indecision means that the answer is already no. We're just afraid to admit it. You know this feeling. You keep circling the idea, you keep reworking the logo, you keep asking your friends, your family, your group chat, GPT, but deep down, you already know this ain't it. Look, if you can't say hell yes, then you need to say hell no. And why? Because in business, a maybe is the most expensive answer you can choose. And it's only gonna take me about 5 minutes to break this down. So if you don't have 5 minutes to spare, then you'll just stay in entrepreneurial purgatory. And that's the worst possible place that you can ever be because people never figure out what they are actually intended to do. They never figure out their purpose. And then they always have a bad relationship with money because for their whole entire life, they end up doing things that they hate doing in order to make money and survive. And I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy because it sucks. And I do not want to go back to living that life ever. And actually, maybe I would wish that on my worst enemy because I'm not that evolved of a person yet. So yeah, worst enemy, go and make money doing something that you hate and despise your life. Go ahead and do that. But look, you need to find something that feels like play to you, but looks like work to others. Because the reason you keep quitting projects, the reason that you keep bouncing from idea to idea to idea, it's not because you're lazy, it's because you're not aligned. You're fighting against your natural genius to do what looks right on paper, but feels off in your spirit. You know what's easier? To stop pretending and start doubling down on what flows. You love talking about a certain topic, start making content. You love teaching about that certain topic, make a digital product about it. If you love solving problems, teach, or better yet, put your solution into a digital product to where you can deliver it to the masses. Quit trying to be what the algorithm wants. Be what you were built for. Look, you don't win by being the best at everything. You win by being the only one doing what you do the way you do it. Nobody can beat you at being you. You escape competition through authenticity. That's the cheat code. If you want to escape competition, then stop playing their game. When you build your business around what's natural to you, then competition, it fades. Most people are grinding their face off doing stuff that they hate. But when you find your mode of genius, then you move different because you're not chasing, you're attracting. Your execution becomes effortless. Your energy, it's unmatched. And people, they can feel that. Like, stuff that seems so hard to other people, it is effortless to me. Why? Because I just focus on doing what I do, baby. I spent so many years along my entrepreneurial journey trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. It's like no matter what I was doing, no matter how hard I tried to jam it into that hole, it's not gonna fit. Why? Because I wasn't in alignment. And I almost made the mistake that a lot of people are doing by marrying the wrong business. I'm glad I got at that joint. A lot of the things that I wanted to do, I kept on putting it off because it wasn't what the consensus was doing. It wasn't what everybody else was doing. My ideas that I was like, oh, this would really work. And I spent so long building the wrong business. And that's why I ended up putting myself in a box. And thankfully, I was able to escape that box because no matter what I would do, no matter how much more money that I might have made, nothing ever felt right. And I just ended up building a business for myself that I hated. And it was no different than that 9-to-5 job that I fired April 1st, 2016. And the sole reason why I fired my job was because I hated it, right? Some mornings I would have to wake up an extra hour and a half, an extra 90 minutes early just to brush my teeth because I hated the thought of going into work so much that I would literally think myself sick. I would make myself sick to my stomach to the point where some mornings when I stuck my toothbrush in my mouth, I would literally vomit. Like I hated my job that much. So I was like, oh, entrepreneurship is going to be so great because I can build a business doing what I wanted to do. Well, guess what? A lot of those maybes, a lot of those things that I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe I can do this, or I can make some money doing this, or that's what everybody else is doing. All that stuff in my gut was telling me, hell no. And every single time I didn't listen to myself, every single time where I wasn't excited about something, every single time where I wasn't telling myself, hell yes, I got whooped for it. I got beat by it, and it just felt like I was selling like just a little piece of my soul every single time. And I finally realized that I was focused on building a business that I shouldn't even have started to build in the first place. I don't want you to marry the wrong business, and it's a hard pill to swallow, but you may be building a business right now that you never should have started in the first place. In a world of infinite options, premature commitment is the real trap. Just because you've been working on it for a year doesn't mean that you need to ride that thing into the ground. And I've been there. I've rode a business to the dirtiest of the grounds, like through the underground. I've rode a bad business through the depths of hell, trying to figure out something that wasn't meant for me to figure out at all. So let me put it like this. You don't stay in a toxic relationship just because you've been together for 5 years. So why stay in a dead business? Let it go. Not next week, not next month, now. And make space for what actually fits. And I know this is hard, but I've done this multiple times. So I'm showing you in real time that this can be done. So when I fired my job April 1st, 2016, the first business that I got started in was in a small niche in real estate called wholesaling. It's where you basically flip houses without using any of your own cash or credit. So if you've ever seen any of those signs on a street corner, especially like in the hood that says we buy houses, I used to do that type of stuff. And it was a grind, and it was hard, and it was long hours, and it's really that like stereotypical entrepreneur, like I'm grinding my face off and I'm doing so much hard work for such little money. I hated it. But people that I met in the industry, they were telling me all these things that I should do, and all the things that they were telling me that I should do, nothing felt in alignment. All of it felt wrong. And some of the negotiation tactics that they were telling me to do with these owners of these homes, it didn't feel right. It felt scammy. Because in this niche in real estate, what you basically do is that you find a distressed property or a distressed homeowner, right? It's really the owner of the property is in more distress than the property even is. Even if the property is just standing on toothpicks, it's always going to be the seller is in the most distress, because these people, they may not be in a position where they want to sell their house, but they're in a position where they need to sell their house, right? So then you would get a contract to purchase this home, and then you would basically just go out and find a house flipper, a landlord or whatnot, some type of real estate investor, and you would basically sell your contract to them for a fee. So if I negotiated this purchase price right here of $100,000, then I would sell my contract to the house flipper, the landlord, for $110,000, then I would get the difference of the $10,000, right? But a lot of the sales tactics and negotiation tactics that people would use with the distressed homeowner that is really going through some type of real life situation right now, it was disgusting to me. And I refused to do a lot of that stuff. Therefore, I didn't make as much money in the business as a lot of these other guys, because a lot of this stuff didn't feel in alignment with who I am as a person. My integrity is just wouldn't allow me to do it. And like, I really wanted to help these people. So I did, made less money for it, but I could at least feel good about myself for the money that I was making, right? But I did that business for 4 years, always feeling out of alignment, always feeling as if it was oil and vinegar, right? It doesn't mix. Looking for a way that I could get out of it. So then I took my business online, and then I started to get all this information on digital marketing and how I can take my intellectual property on things that I know how to do, on problems that I know how to fix, and package up that intellectual property in a digital product. I start to get information. I start to meet people. I start to get in coaching programs. I start to join masterminds. Guess what? Something very similar started to happen. I started seeing things that were being done from a sales perspective that were not in alignment with who I am as a person, that I don't feel comfortable doing. Everything that felt right, everything that my instincts were telling me to do, everybody else wasn't doing it. Everybody else was telling me no. Everybody else that was making more money than me was like, no, you don't do it like this, you do it like that. I kept fighting it. And there's a reason why my business was struggling to grow, because I kept fighting against what it was that I was intended to do versus what the world was doing. And through that process, I found the power of defaulting to no. And that was the mindset shift that changed everything for me. I default to no because yes is expensive. Every time you say yes to someone else's agenda, you're saying no to your own. People ask me how I'm able to get so much done because my calendar is basically empty. My inbox is ignored by default. My focus is on my vision, not theirs, and yours should too. This is how you protect your mental bandwidth. This is how you stay in flow. This is how you get 10 times the results with less effort. Because when you stop reacting to everything, you get to create something real. When you're focused on you, when you're focused on the problem that you can solve in the marketplace for somebody else, other people see that because they can see that you have obsessed over their problem more than you have. But you know that you're staying in your mode of genius. You know that you're focused on what it is that you're intended to focus on, and the rest of the world doesn't matter. And then when you consume content, or when you consume courses, or when you read books, or when you gather information to help you along your mission, you'll know how to do what I like to call to eat the meat and spit out the bones, right? Then you'll really know on what to apply and what to let fly. Because you'll know some of that stuff that you can't apply, like if it's not in alignment with what it is that you know that you are intended to do within your purpose, you can just sidestep it. You can just Euro step it to the side, right? That's the spitting out the bones part of it. But the nourishment that you can get from certain information, the nourishment that you can get from certain courses, the nourishment that you can get from certain YouTube videos, certain podcasts, certain books, certain teaching, certain mentors, right? You'll know what to decipher on what is actually for you and what is not when you're actually focused on you and not everything else. But I want to give you a wake-up call right now, because this is about you. Your life is not a group project. Your dream business, your income goal, that thing that you keep journaling about, that thing that you can't stop thinking about, that thing that you're watching video after video after video after video about. It won't happen while you're fixing everybody else's life or pleasing everybody or chasing the newest opportunity. You've got to build from your core, and you've got to start listening to your instincts, because your instincts, they come from a higher place than you. I think that if you don't listen to your instincts, you're being disrespectful to God, because God gave you those instincts for a reason. Think about every other living creature on this planet. They just are who they are, yet we are human beings, yet we have the hardest problem being, right? When all that we have to do is be. A shark doesn't have to wonder how to be a shark. It just gets born and starts swimming around and starts biting shit. You need to be who it is that you are intended to be. Stop fighting it. And build from your core, build from you, not from insecurity, not from obligation, not from FOMO, but from clarity, confidence, and calling. And if you can't decide, then the answer is no. Say no, free up the space, and then build something that's so you they can't ignore it, like all them that you see on the screen right now. And if you're ready to make more working less online from stuff you already know, go ahead and click the link down in the description and join the It's Credited at the Top community. For weekly coaching from myself, all my exclusive trainings, plus a private community and entrepreneurs, all designed to grow your business online. It's only a few bucks a day to join right now, literally less than a cup of coffee per day. So click the link down in the description to tap in, and I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. And I just wanted to give you a wake-up call. And I know that I may sound a little intense or a little harsh in this video, but I gotta give you a wake-up call, because you're wasting time. And we don't have much time on this planet. Our time is so limited. And if you're not acting on what it is that you want to act on right now, the time is just going to flash by you. Like, think about how quickly the last 5 years have gone by. Think about how quickly the last 10 years have gone by. You don't want to let another 5, 10, 15, 20 plus years beyond happen, to where it's then you get to be 70, 80 years old, and you're just talking about all the things that you should have done, right? We don't want to do that when we have all the capability in the now. And now, NOW stands for no opportunities wasted. So don't sleep on your opportunity, because the opportunity of a lifetime only lasts for the lifetime of the opportunity. But it'll pass you by and just go to the next person if you don't take advantage of it right now. So tap into your gift, and go ahead and click the link down in the description if you want to tap into the community. And I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. Go ahead and check out this video right here about how giving your gift away for free It'll literally make you rich. It's crowded at the top.